Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to the Doctor Janine Show. I'm so happy to have you all here today. Guess what we are doing? We're going to be coming back to the kitchen. We're talking about, yes, cold and flu season, and I'm going to make my very special recipe for my cold busting tea. And you can guess some of the ingredients that I'm holding right here. We're coming back to that. We are also discussing, by popular request, a lot of the ladies have asked about endometriosis. I'll touch on PCOS as well, and balancing the hormones. And this is really applicable for the ladies, yes, for the men as well, why it's so important that we're balancing those hormones. And we're talking, can you guess what we're talking? Yes, we're talking about belly fat. I have the best hack for you and some new information from the other side of the world as to what actually helps to melt away belly fat, that subcutaneous fat. And I'm going to show you some fat here. So can I come up to the camera? Here we go. With that fat, so that subcutaneous fat that you can see, what does that mean? Subcutaneous, right underneath the skin surface. We're going to be doing a hack to melt that belly fat away beneath that skin surface, that sub-Q fat, which is amazing. Please say hello. Let me know where you're all from today. So great to have you all here. And make sure that you are sharing today's live. Make sure that you're double tapping that screen. I love to see all that love coming through already so early in the show. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for all of the love. So double tap that screen. Make sure you share with 10, 15 people if you can so that they can all join the party, as well as making sure that you're following me. So if you're a new follower, you're in for a great show today. Welcome on in. I'm Dr. Janine. It's going to be a great show. Okay, we're also talking about balancing those hormones for that belly fat and metabolic syndrome. And of course, when we're talking about balancing those hormones, you know that I like to talk about leptin resistance and why it's so important that we're balancing our leptin levels, as that's related to the amount of body fat that we're holding on to. All right, we also have some quiz questions coming up as well, so that's going to be fun. So make sure that you're ready and typing in your answers. Thank you, Zakana, for sharing today's live. Awesome to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you're subscribed and that you're following as well. Shall we get started? We're talking iron deficiency. And how common is iron deficiency? Hey, maybe you've got some of the signs and symptoms of iron deficiency and you don't know that that's related to your low iron. There are certain situations that can put you into that deficient state, and we're going to talk about that. We'll also be talking about some hacks for that weight loss and what you can do, and really some takeaway points that you can do at home to start losing that weight today. Okay, so does that sound good? Yes. Put a yes, please, in the comments. Nice to have you here. I see all those hearts coming in. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So great to have you here. Okay, now let's talk about some of the signs and symptoms of an iron deficiency. This is so common. One of the big ones, of course, is lack of energy. But when we're talking about hair loss, this is so common amongst men and women with hair loss. And of course, women typically are going to have more of an iron deficiency because of our menstrual cycles and such. But this is very common. Broken hair as well. So the strength of the hair, the quality of the hair is related to getting enough minerals in your system. And iron is a big one. Let's talk about cracked lips. Torn corners of the mouth. So some people are actually sensitive and they have sensitive skin at the corners of the mouth. That can be related to an iron deficiency. A burning tongue. Not everybody has this, of course, but this could be related to an iron deficiency. Heartburn. So if you are having acid reflux, heartburn, did you know that that could be related to this very important mineral, to that iron deficiency? Anorexia, so changes in your appetite as well. And GI complaints. So you've got a lot of gut health issues, gas, bloating, that could be related to your iron deficiency. As well as pale, dry skin. And we are also talking, of course, about that low energy. So that low energy, you just don't feel so great. And there are other challenges. Last week we talked a little bit about vitamin D deficiency this time of year for a lot of people, depending on where you live. So please let me know where you are streaming in from. I'd love to hear. But this is important that we are addressing our iron deficiency. And I've got some tips and some hacks and some high iron foods. We're going to be talking about that. And lack of concentration. Hey, headaches. You don't know how many people that I've been able to help with headaches, chronic headaches, and you don't know why you're getting the headaches. That could be a simple iron deficiency. Anemia, as we know, immunodeficiencies, so we need iron for a healthy immune system, which is so important as well. And this is something that we're going to be coming back to the kitchen because I'm going to give you my cold busting tea remedy. We're going to be mixing that up in the kitchen. You're going to love that because I know a lot of people are sick with colds and flus. You're down and out right now. Maybe you've got that iron deficiency. That's something to definitely have checked in your blood work, which is so important. Okay, now one of the problems, now maybe you've taken an iron supplement before. One of the big problems with conventional iron supplements is that they don't feel so good going down and they can cause constipation. So where's my poop platter? Here we go. Let's pull out the poop platter here. If you've seen me, this is what made me go viral on one of the a few of the platforms actually worldwide. Everybody loves the poop platter. I don't know why. And if you're new to the poop platter, put a 1 in the comments. I want to see who's new here for the first time because surely if you've been here at the show, you've seen me talk about poop. Yes? How many ones are coming in? Okay, everybody's been here before. I'm surprised. Okay, Geraldine, hello and welcome. And yes, we do talk poop. I can't even. We do talk poop here at the Dr. Janine show. Okay, so one of the things about conventional iron supplements is that they can cause constipation. And that's why, you know, a lot of my patients over the years, they simply, even if they were prescribed an iron something, you know, whether it was prescription or an iron supplement, they simply didn't take them because they had that constipation. Really common in pregnancy as well. It's one of the worst things that you can endure in pregnancy. You're constipated usually anyways, but to also have that constipation because now you're having to take extra iron during the pregnancy, really, really common. So this is one of the things that we have to be aware of. Healthy digestion and maintaining that healthy digestion. When we talk about how to actually optimize your iron levels, I'm going to share something with you. But we've got to have healthy poops, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, Vera, I see is here. Didn't see the poop tray. Okula, Susie, nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Andrea, aren't you love? Don't you love the poop tray? Thashimi, nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, let's talk about one of the things now about having a healthy poop. So maybe you missed this video that went viral. Let's check it out really quickly. Talking about poop, because yes, that's what I do. Here are 3 tips for a healthy poop. So if your poop looks like this, that is a healthy poop. If it's an S-shaped dark sinker, also a healthy poop. However, if your poop is looking like this, those little balls, that is severe constipation. If it's a lighter colored poop and it's floating, that could indicate that you've got some liver and gallbladder issues that need to be addressed. So here are my tips for that healthier poop. Number 1, if you do have that constipation, do that ileocecal valve massage. It's something that I share in other posts. Search it up. You will love that. Helps to get things moving. Tip number 2, increase your fiber in your diet. Adults should be getting at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber daily. And tip number 3, for your liver and your gallbladder health, consider taking a turmeric supplement with a high concentration of curcumin, that active component to help with liver and gallbladder function. Follow for more natural health tips. Here are And there you have it. So we will be talking a little bit more about turmeric when we go over to the kitchen when we're talking about busting colds and flus. I've got a fantastic tea remedy for you there. So don't go anywhere. That's going to be fun. Please hit that share button and double tap your screens. I love all the love that comes in during the shows. And put a 1 in the comments if you're here for the first time. I know I saw a bunch. Thank you, Mama Bear. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for following. And make sure that you're subscribed as well. I have a ton of content, of course, and new content that comes out every single day. And it's so great to have you all here. And this is a very interactive show. I've got actually some fun things planned, okay, for today's show that you're going to love, and you're going to be helping me to fill in some of the information. So it's just not all about me giving the information to you. You're going to be helping me, okay? So that's coming up. Now, let's talk about some tips. How do we increase our iron? So we know that fatigue, the hair falling out, even headaches can be related to that low iron. If you're just tuning in now, we went through some of the signs and symptoms of an iron deficiency. But did you know that different types of iron foods, which is number 1, of course, to increase our iron-rich foods in our diet, there's different types, and the absorption of these different types, so there's something called heme iron, which comes from meat, fish, poultry, so this is, you know, the animal products. And then there's non-heme iron, which comes from some of our more vegetarian types of products, so things like fruits, vegetables, dried beans, nuts, grains, and this is something that can have that non-heme iron as well. So the problem here now is that heme iron versus the non-heme, the heme is much better absorbed. And this is often why some vegetarians actually have difficulty with the proper absorption and getting enough of that iron, is because they're not always eating the animal sources, so they're running that deficiency risk. And this is why the headaches, the hair falling out, and all of these symptoms can be related sometimes to a vegetarian diet, which I'm not saying is bad. I'm just saying that you've got to do things in the right way and make sure that you are balancing that diet out. Now, let's go over here. This is where you're going to help me out today. We're talking about some of the high iron foods, okay? So, can you give me some? I want to see who's been paying attention, who's got some great ideas for, all right, helping me with some high iron foods that I'm going to add to my list. I just talked about some of them. Yes. Okay, bear. I like that one. Number 1, I'm going to put steak. So if you're ever craving a steak or a burger, you're getting 8 milligrams of iron in a regular size steak. And regular to some people may be one size versus other people, but 8 milligrams of that heme iron, which has that high absorption. So yes, Bear, good answer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I see spinach, Mrs. Jax. Yes, absolutely, Mrs. Jax, thank you very much. Spinach, also a good source of iron. Very good. Okay, who else has an answer for me? Okay, I see, yes, another one that I love, eggs. So there you go. Eggs have a great amount of iron as well. Okay, we have seafood, oysters. Thank you very much. Oysters, a great form of iron and absorbable iron. Mussels are very high, so if you love mussels, it's something that I like to order in a restaurant. I don't cook them myself, but yeah. The mussels are very high in iron and manganese, and that is a mineral that we sometimes have difficulty getting enough manganese, so that's awesome. Okay, good job. We also, somebody has molasses. Good job. So blackstrap molasses, because you see how dark it is, it kind of looks like iron, it kind of tastes like iron a little bit, but mixing a little bit of blackstrap molasses, so a tablespoon in some hot water, is a great way to get some iron. You're getting about 7 milligrams of iron in 2 tablespoons of blackstrap molasses. So that's pretty good, 7 milligrams of absorbable, okay? So that's great. Okay, nobody has said my favorite yet. I'm waiting. Let's go. George, yes, we will be talking about the tea for colds and flus. I hope you're okay and you're not suffering right now at home with a cold and flu. And a lot of people are, but I've got that recipe coming up for you. So stay tuned. We're coming up to that in a bit. Okay, anybody else? Oh, I see some other good answers here, which is not on the list that I had curated. But I like the beets. So beets is a great one. And there's still my favorite. Okay, if you've watched my show before, you know what my favorite thing is, right? For iron, please tell me. Oh, we did have it? Yes. Okay, dark chocolate. I'm out of spaces, but we have to include the dark chocolate. There we go. All righty, so there's your list. High iron foods. Thank you very much. You are a very educated bunch. Good job. Awesome. Now, let's talk about and further on with our list of things that we can do to help to increase our iron levels. So we did talk, number 1, about the iron-rich foods. Number 2, vitamin C. So getting vitamin C, not from a synthetic source, and this is where I have, a lot of videos on this. How do you tell if your vitamin C is synthetic versus if it is a whole food source of your vitamin C? This is really important. Whole food vitamin C comes from things like acerola cherries, camu berries, very high naturally in vitamin C. And when these are taken now and freeze-dried, you're getting that absorbable whole food vitamin C, which makes all the difference, and that's going to help your iron absorption. Okay, number 3 on my list is you want to limit the inhibitors. So there's certain things that we are taking in. One of the big ones is the polyphenols, and this polyphenols are very high in tea. So black tea, green tea, white tea, not so much the herbal teas. I'm talking about the Camellia sinensis, so the green tea or the black tea. These polyphenols will decrease your iron absorption. So this is really, really important. Another inhibitor is calcium. So if you are taking an iron supplement or you're trying to up your iron, you're not going to take it with a calcium supplement at the same time, because that's going to decrease your absorption of that iron. Okay, number 4 on the list is to supplement. So if you are going to supplement, this is so important. Remember, I'm going to grab the poops really quickly. I'm running over here to the poops. I don't know anybody else who runs for poops. Well, some people have to run when they have to poop, right? But yes, so remember, a lot of those iron supplements, unfortunately, they are causing constipation. So one that does not is to look for a whole food iron supplement that has iron bisglycinate. So bisglycinate, so bound to that glycine, is not going to be constipating. It's very well absorbed, helps to move things through the digestive tract because it has that extra glycine, which is so important, okay? So there we go. Please share today's live. It's so great to have you all here today. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're double tapping that screen. I see all of those lovely hearts coming through. Thank you so much. Awesome to have you here. Make sure that you're subscribed, you're following, and we are going to say now hello and thank you to our viewers spotlight. So every week we like to call out someone who has shared some positivity, some good news. We need more of that in this world, don't we? And this is from Shalini. So Shalini said, Dr. Janine Bowring, you have changed my life, with lots of hearts. Well, thank you so much. Or is it Shalini, perhaps? Shalini Singh, please forgive my pronunciation. Shalini, thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. And thank you for all the love that comes in throughout the shows and on all of my content throughout the weeks. Thank you so much. We do have some quiz questions coming up, so I hope everybody's ready. I hope you've got your thinking caps on. Yes? And you're ready? Now, you don't need a pen or a pencil. You're just going to have to type in the comments when we get to our quiz question, which is so much fun. Okay, now I do want to share, you're going to start to see these in the shows now. This is something very important, a big, quick tip. We talked about iron and iron absorption. We talked about the low iron symptoms, hair falling out, headaches, low energy. Here's a quick tip. Don't take your iron supplement with tea, okay? Your high iron foods that you helped me make that list. Don't be eating those high iron foods with a cup of tea. It's going to decrease the absorption of that iron. All right, I hope that helps you. Awesome, awesome. Now we're going over here, and I do want to share some information about endometriosis. We will be going over into the kitchen in just a few minutes so we can make that cold busting tea together, which you're going to love that recipe. But did you know, and this is something that we've talked about in a previous show, but I still am getting so many questions from women about endometriosis and hormonal balance. Well, endometrial tissue is supposed to be inside the uterus, but endometriosis is when that tissue is migrating outside of the uterus. So it's moving to places where it should not be. Some of the causes of this endometrial tissue going to the wrong places is overall inflammation in the body, leptin resistance. So this is why I talk a lot about leptin resistance on all of my shows. Why we have to get this hormone under control to help to balance that inflammation. It could be high estrogen in the system. It could be also environmental toxins and xenoestrogens that we've been exposed to. And this isn't just about endometriosis here. This is for the guys as well. It's so important because both men and women are exposed to these xenoestrogens, and they're estrogen mimicking molecules that actually make your cells work in a not so healthy way, and they lead to certain cancers and things. But in this case, with endometrial tissue, it can cause that problem. So when we look at now endometriosis and the endometrial tissue, I think we have another picture that we can show you, is that we can see that that endometrial tissue can get to the ovaries. It's outside the uterus. It could be on the fallopian tubes as well, and can cause a lot of pain, especially during the menstrual cycles. It can cause infertility issues as well, so it's something that we definitely want to be aware of. Okay, so thank you so much. I hope this is helping. I will give you some tips in just a few moments as to help with that endometriosis and pelvic pain. We're going to be coming over to the beauty set as well, because I've got a belly fat blasting recipe, again, that you can do a self-massage. You're going to love this based on evidence, so based on the research with specific essential oils. So we're going to be talking about that. You're going to love that. So that is coming up as well. Oh my goodness, we're at quiz question number 1. Is everybody ready? Okay, this is what we do. If you're here for the first time, say hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tanny, thank you. You're welcome. Great to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so we will be having 3 different quiz questions in today's show. And all you need to do is do your best, put your answer in, whatever you think think that answer may be, you don't, it's not high stress, just we're having fun here. But at the same time, if you are randomly selected as a participant, you may be the winner of today's prize, which is the turmeric curcumin vegan joint formula. This is something that we're going to be actually using in our cold busting tea, so you're going to love that when we get over to the kitchen set. But this is what we're playing for. I'm also going to mention last week's winner in just a few moments, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Okay, is everybody ready? I hope that everybody was paying attention. This was super simple. I mean, I couldn't have laid it out more easily for you. But let's go to the quiz question number 1. You're going to have 30 seconds. Once you see that question, here we go. True or false? So you got a 50-50 chance. Tea can hinder iron absorption. Okay, get your answers in. You got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go. Nice to see you. Thank you, and thank you for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know a lot of you are writing your answers in now. I see a lot of good answers. Good job, good job. Nice. Okay, we've got 15 seconds. Let's go. Good job, everyone. True or false? All right. 5 seconds left. Are we ready? And how many of you got it right? Yes, I think most of you got it right. Make sure you're subscribed, you're followed before we put that answer up. Yes, yes, we got everybody. You're double tapping that screen as well. Yes, of course, the answer is true. Woohoo! Congratulations, everyone. Good job. You've got a couple more opportunities to answer some questions. Brain Power 9, nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. And okay, now let's congratulate last week's winner of the VitaTree AccuBlood Sugar Balance, and it was Cheekies, and you won this prize. So make sure you are following Team Dr. Janine, you're following me as well, so that we can reach you. We've got your address, and we can send that out to you. Congratulations, Cheekies. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, yes, now let's talk about some of the best foods for endometriosis. So when we're talking about really having a positive effect, and this is actually, and we're going to be talking a little bit about metabolic syndrome and that belly fat in just a few moments, but with endometriosis, balancing those hormones and actually quenching those free radicals in those endometrial cells is something that has been researched, and a particular foods and a particular amino acid, cysteine, which is a precursor to N-acetylcysteine, helps, and it has been found in the research. So in this study that you're seeing here, it has been found that N-acetylcysteine, otherwise known as NAC, is actually scavenging those free radicals within those endometrial cells. So it's specifically targeting those free radicals, those less favorable cells, and what's happening in those endometrial cells. And the NAC is doing it. And there's certain foods that are high in cysteine, and we're going to go through that list in just a second. Okay, so there we go. And you can look this up. Whenever I show a study, I want you to look it up. And I mean, if you're nerdy like I am and you want to learn a little bit more, you can certainly do that. You don't have to do that. And I like to give you the information, and you don't have to study it like I do. But I find it very, very compelling that now we know that there are some natural foods that are high in that cysteine to help with the endometriosis. Okay, so number 1 on the list is chicken. So chicken is high in cysteine, of course. And here, oh, we've got some chickens. Hello. I said, I want some chickens in the backyard. I think it would be fun. I think it would be good. I think it's a good thing to do. Okay, so for the eggs, of course. There we go. The cute chicken, but eating chicken, yes, will give you that cysteine. And cysteine is in eggs as well. Okay, which is number 2 on my list, is eggs. So whenever you can find free range, so the chickens are able to roam on their own, that is definitely going to be a healthier way to, get that cysteine in your eggs and your chicken. Okay, number 3 on the list, another great food for endometriosis, is garlic. So garlic has natural anti-inflammatory properties, so really, really important. And that allicin is really great because it also helps with cold and flus, which we will be talking about coming into the kitchen in just a few moments with my cold busting tea formulation, which you're going to love. And thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing. I see so many of you have shared, and you're sending in gifts, which I can see as well, which that is so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for double tapping that screen, guys, and sending in all those likes. And make sure as well that you are subscribed and that you're following me as well, so that you can join in on the fun every week when we're here. Okay, so that garlic, amazing for endometriosis. Let's continue the list. Number 4, yogurt. So good quality, again, grass-fed when you can, yogurt that has those probiotics, really important for your gut microbiome, important for that endometriosis. Number 5 is broccoli. So broccoli, yes, is another food that has something called indole 3 carbanols. Number 6 on my list also, which is the Brussels sprouts, also contains these indole 3 carbanols. And these are important because these I3Cs, what they do is they trap those xenoestrogens. And this is important for the guys as well. So not just, let's take our head out of endometriosis for a second. This is important for the guys because remember, plastics and things like plastic water bottles. So these xenoestrogens, if you're drinking from plastic and you're storing your food in plastic, we have plastic all around us. There's plastic microparticles in the air. It's everywhere. So the great thing about the indole 3 carbanols, so the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, fantastic because they actually trap those xenoestrogens. They trap those particles, those microparticles of that plastic, and help to move them out through the digestive tract. If you notice, broccoli and Brussels sprouts are also a great source of fibers, so just think of that trapping all of these microparticles and moving it out through the system. So really important for endometriosis and balancing the hormones, which we can't get away from that plastic as much as we try. Yes, limit and your microplastic exposure as much as possible. That's really, really important. Okay, so when we're talking now about yes, I hope everybody screenshotted that. Yes, we got it? Okay, perfect. Now let's talk about some tips. Okay, so how do we deal with balancing the hormones? How do we deal with those xenoestrogens? This is for the guys as well. Even though we're talking about endometriosis, I want you to pay attention, really important. Okay, number 1 on my list is follow Mother Nature's prescription. What is that? That's early morning sunrise. Seeing that sunrise, so important. You got to get outside in the morning, see that sunrise. Really important because of the healing rays of the sun and setting your circadian rhythms in sync with nature, which balances all your hormones. Really, really important. As well as the sunset, that's signaling for the end of the day to have that good night's sleep, getting grounded, so taking your shoes off, or having some of the other tips that I've got for grounding, especially in the winter if you live in a colder climate. This is really going to help you. Okay, number 2 on the list is detox those xenoestrogens. So we talked about that, and there are specific herbal medicines as well that help to detox those xenoestrogens and microplastics. So I love milk thistle, dandelion root, parsley. These are all fantastic as part of a full body detox, which I talk a lot about, to get those toxins and using those herbal medicines to get those toxins out. Okay, number 3 on the list is avoid the inflammatory PUFAs. So the seed oils are very inflammatory. If you've got endometriosis, if you've got any type of, issue happening with your endocrine organs, this is really important to avoid those inflammatory fats. So I'm talking canola oil, vegetable oil. Just don't buy them, don't eat them. Do your best to get them out of your life, okay? So please say hello. Let me know where everybody's from. Victor, thank you for following. So please follow if you're new in here for the first time. Make sure that you are subscribed as well. I see so many new people here this morning, which is fantastic. Thank you for coming on into the show. We do this every Tuesday at this time slot, and we share all information about what we can do naturally for different health topics. Okay, let's continue the list. Number 4 on the list is your omega-3s. So these are the healthy fats, the anti-inflammatory ones, especially DHA and EPA, really important for that anti-inflammatory effect, as we know that endometriosis and hormonal imbalance is often linked to that overall inflammation. This helps with the leptin resistance as well that I talked about earlier. Really important to get enough of that DHA especially, so from a high quality fish oil, eating more fish. And number 5 on the list is doing a castor oil pack. So guess what? I've got a fantastic recipe for blasting away that belly fat. We're going to be coming over to the beauty segment, and in that set, I'm going to show you exactly how to mix up some specific aromatherapy essential oils that have been now proven in science in a study to actually help to melt away belly fat. Yes, hello, and they also help for that inflammation. We are using that castor oil. So that is coming up in just a few minutes. Are we going over to the kitchen? Yes, all right, we're going over to the kitchen. Is everybody having a great day today? I know it's almost holiday season. I know that everybody, hopefully, is doing well. Maybe you're not feeling well. Maybe you are suffering with a cold or flu, but this is a fantastic remedy that you are going to absolutely love. We're going to go over and we'll show you the recipe card in just a minute. Super, super simple. So all you need is some hot water, some lemon, some honey, and preferably it's an unpasteurized honey, so be really careful. I've got a bunch of videos on honey and educating you about honey, and you can see that it's crystallizing a little bit, so that's actually a good sign of a real good high quality honey when it's actually crystallizing. And you want to make sure that you know the source of where those bees are at. So that, and a local honey is going to actually help with your immune system, help with allergies and things. Really important. I could go on, can you tell? I love honey and I can go on and on about honey. But this is part of, it is antibacterial, it's antiviral, it stimulates your immune system. That's why it's such an important component of my cold busting tea. Okay, and you see that I've got lemon as well. So really important. The citrus in here, amazing, and has a soothing effect, especially if you've got a sore throat. So for a cough as well, amazing, all of the nutrients. And we're actually going to maintain, so I'm going to chop this up. Okay, so here we go. We've got hot water, and I'm just going to put that into my glass. I'm just going to put a little bit to start, and I'm going to top it up again just so that it mixes everything in. So you can see the hot water. As hot as you can stand it, the hotter the better. This has been, knock on wood, Dr. Janine doesn't very rarely get sick, okay? And why? I'm convinced because when I ever drink tea or anything, I do my cold busting tea, I make it so scorching hot that anything that's trying to live in my throat is annihilated immediately just because of the hotness and how hot it is, okay? So that's just a little side bit tip. Okay, so we've got a lemon. So I like to use a half of a lemon, organic if you can. Of course, if you don't have access to that, you can't afford it, that's totally cool. Any lemon, you're going to use a half a lemon. But you're going to see I'm going to squeeze now that lemon into, and the seeds and everything is fine, and squeeze that into my, and of course I washed this before, squeeze that into my hot water, and then I drop the entire half a lemon in here. And there's a reason for that, because the white part, so the white part of your lemon has those citrus bioflavonoids. We know that this is very high in natural vitamin C as well. Those citrus bioflavonoids help with the absorption. So the pith, the white part, is going to help with the absorption of that vitamin C. We know vitamin C gets very much depleted when we're sick, so that's why I put the whole thing into the hot water. And I'm just using a little bit of honey. And again, the totally delicious, and mixing that in, and that's going to melt in with the hot water. And then the last little bit, we talked a little bit earlier, if you're just tuning in now, we talked a little bit about turmeric, and I'm adding in 2 capsules of concentrated turmeric with curcumin, which is phenomenal. Stimulates your natural killer cells, really important for gut health. We know a healthy gut is healthy immunity. Over 80% of our immunity comes from having a healthy gut. So that is one of the key ingredients in this cold busting tea, is that concentrated turmeric, and you can see the coloration, and that curcumin. And this one has a 95 percentile of those curcuminoids. Mixing that in, the 2 capsules. I love to drink my turmeric at bedtime. It's just very soothing, helps with sleep, helps with your brain function as well. And mixing that in, oops, and I always, there we go. And then I top it up with the rest of my hot water. This is so soothing. It helps even if you've got joint pains and things, but if you've got a sore throat, amazing, amazing. All right, doesn't that look yummy? Okay, we're gonna show you that recipe in just a second, but I've gotta have a few sips, because you know I love to drink and enjoy my recipes as we do them live here. Welcome to the Dr. Janine Show. So great to have you here. And here we go. Day Anderson, yes, I wash always the lemons before. I just run them under some water in the sink. And if you can do organic, absolutely, definitely a better way to go. Here we go. Now, Transcendence is asking, do you need to add black pepper with the turmeric? No. So in these turmeric capsules, there's quercetin, and quercetin alleviates the need for the black pepper. Studies have shown that quercetin actually helps with the bioavailability of the quercetin, especially of the turmeric, especially of that curcumin. So the quercetin helps with that bioavailability. You don't need the black pepper. Okay, okay, I gotta go. Okay, let's take a look at the remedy. Here you go. And look at the recipe. You can screenshot it really quickly. Absolutely delicious. I hope everybody is doing well and you're not under the weather right now. Arletta, can kids drink this? Absolutely, yes, yes, yes. And honey is not okay to give to a baby, but is okay in pregnancy? And of course, always check with your doctor, but that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, everybody got it? Everybody got the screenshot? Okay, we're at quiz question number 2. Okay, and isn't this timely? What are we talking about? What are we playing for? So this is from our fantastic sponsors at VitaTree, who make the Dr. Janine show possible. We thank them so much. And we're playing for the turmeric, okay? So I hope whoever is our lucky winner, amazing, amazing, and everything happens for a reason. So please make sure the fact that you've even tuned in today and you're paying attention and you're participating in the quiz questions, amazing to have you here. But maybe you're gonna be the winner of this, our turmeric plus the curcumin from VitaTree. We thank them so much. Okay, are we ready for quiz question number 2? Okay, we're going over here. Woohoo! All right, you're going to have 30 seconds. I hope everybody was paying attention. Name a food that is good for endometriosis, okay? Name a food that's good for endometriosis. I think I stressed it a lot, all right? Get your answers in now. You got 30 seconds. Let's go. Okay, everybody getting their answers in? You've got about 15 seconds. All right. If you're just tuning in now, we're in quiz question number 2. Welcome to the Dr. Janine show. We've talked about iron deficiency, endometriosis, balancing hormones. We're going to be blasting away some belly fat in just a second. 1 second left. Everybody got your answers in? Okay, awesome, awesome. I see like mostly right answers, things that I talked about. Foods high in cysteine and indole-3 carbanols are the ones that help with specifically with endometriosis, because the N-acetylcysteine is something that actually goes in and eats away free radicals in endometrial cells, okay? So this is so important. All right, so what were the foods? I saw some of them. Chicken. Yes, eggs. I saw broccoli, yogurt. Good job. Amy Fiore. Nice, nice, nice. Hazel. Good job. And we talked about yogurt as well, healthy for the microbiome, healthy gut health, and of course the broccoli and Brussels sprouts, the indole-3 carbanols to balance those hormones. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about metabolic syndrome. That's where we're going next. And this is a problem, especially if you've got the belly fat, you've got that central obesity, you can't get that weight off, you're craving all the wrong foods at all the wrong times. Maybe this is something that's going on. And when you've got at least 3 of the following on this chart, you would be diagnosed with metabolic syndrome. And it's something that is so common now. So we talk about maybe browning, and you're seeing some brown patches that don't really wash away around the neck region. It could be skin tags as well, which we don't see on here, but I'm gonna add that in, because if you've got a lot of skin tags, I've got videos on this. This is so important, that this is related to your insulin and insulin resistance. Okay, so if you're pre-diabetic, you've got issues with your blood glucose levels, which we see here as well, in terms of high fasting blood glucose levels. Now your blood pressure could be high, you could have low HDL, which of course is your better cholesterol, high triglycerides, and that central obesity. So that belly fat is around the midsection. This is something, yeah, you're holding onto that fat, and it's centralized in this area. That could be an indication of that metabolic syndrome. And when we talk about the apple shape, usually in the guys, the pear shape could be in the women. So you're seeing more of that fat mass lower down in the body. This is something that could be related to that metabolic syndrome. And the fact that the hormones are out of balance. We're talking about leptin levels. We're also talking about balancing our insulin, because usually it's the leptin resistance that happens first before the insulin resistance. So balancing those blood sugars is going to be important, because guess what? You can't access that fat and get at that fat if you've got this happening and you've got, high insulin levels and that insulin resistance, as well as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So that's something that we've talked about in previous shows as well. So important that we're helping our liver. And one of the things that we just talked about, that turmeric, amazing for fatty liver, amazing for that metabolic syndrome as well. Okay, so let's talk about some more tips though. So what can we do? We will be going over here. I'm going to show you the hack for the belly fat and the castor oil to blast that away. But let's talk about now some weight loss tips, especially if your hormones are out of balance and you've got that metabolic syndrome. Okay, so number 1, we have to fix our leptin resistance. How do we do that? How do we fix leptin resistance? If you don't know what leptin resistance is, please check out my content. You can search up my name, Dr. Janine, Bowring. Look up leptin resistance on basically any platform on, on the internet. Just look that up. You're going to get some information. I'm going to share exactly what it is, but why it's so important to balance our hormones to get off that belly fat, especially that we're trying to target, okay? So cold showers, ice packs is fantastic. So here you go. You're going to take a shower, take your regular shower, wash your hair, wash your body, wash everything. Do whatever you do in the shower, nice warm temperature. Because you know what's coming? What's coming is a cold blast of cold water, and you can do it, just trust me. If you've got a watch, if you've got a timer, fantastic. If you want to count your Mississippis as you're in that cold water, so you're in your nice, lovely shower, then you're going to put it to cold as it will go, and you're going to stand there, and you're going to think of me, and you're like, I know she told me to do this, and it's good for my health, and I'm going to do this to melt away my belly fat. Yes, you're going to do that. 30 seconds. Your aim is 30 seconds at the beginning. Stand under that blast of cold water. Usually when you get to about 25 seconds, you're going to start to see the goosebumps happening. The shivering sets in. That's a good sign. Then you get out of the shower. You don't go back to warm again. You always end a cold shower with cold. You don't go back to the hot and get out of the shower. You will be amazed how quickly this will work. Now, if cold showers isn't your thing, however, if you've not yet tried it, how many people have done cold showers? Put a 2 in the comments. I hope this is you. Yes. Okay, please tell me you've done cold showers or even cold dunks, cold ice dunks, any kind of cold. Yes, Geraldine, Steph. All right, anything. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Lizzo, yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, the other thing you can do is ice packs. So ice packs, especially on the abdomen, fantastic way to help with your leptin signaling, to fix that leptin resistance. It's amazing what this does. It's amazing, in short. So putting ice packs, you can also put them on the small of your back. That's another region which will help to cool down your entire body. That's based on traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture points. The back, there was wind points at the back of the neck as well. I'm going to throw that. Woohoo! Whoops! There we go. All right. Okay, so do your cold showers, ice packs. Try to do them daily if you can. Okay, to help with that leptin signaling to get to that weight loss goal that you're going to. This only helps. Stopping the carbs, absolutely. So too much sugar is going to be related to that metabolic syndrome, spiking your blood glucose levels. That's a problem, okay? So limit your carbs. I know it says stop carbs, but limit your carbs. Limit your carbs. Try to just cut them down, and you'll see that that weight starts to come off. Now, if you do still have your carbs in your meal, this is what the research has shown. Number 3 is that you're eating your carbs last. Okay, so if let's say you're having, I don't know, your broccoli, your steak, your salad, have the carbs last. So what you want to do is not have the, you know how you get into the restaurant and they give you the bread and the bread comes to the table and you stuff that in your mouth quickly? Ooh, yum, yay, yay, love it, love it, love it. The bruschetta or whatever, bruschetta? Did I say it right? Sorry, all the Italian people out there. I'm not Italian. And you're like, okay, I love this, this is so good. No, you're spiking your blood glucose at the beginning of the meal and now you're going into fat gain instead of that fat loss, okay? So you want to make sure that you're having your carbs last, eat the bread last. You can still have it, okay? And that's why dessert is actually at the end of the meal is not such a bad thing, okay? If you need to have your dessert. Okay, thank you. Who's loving this? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit that share button. Hit all those likes as well. I see all those people sharing. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Dr. Janine. Great to have you here. Double tap that screen a few million times. I appreciate it. Thank you. I see all the love coming through. Okay, let's continue the list. All right, how else do we blast away, especially that belly fat? And don't forget, we're going over to the beauty set in just a second. And I'll be showing my fantastic recipe to put specific essential oils together, aromatherapy that's been shown in research now to actually melt subcutaneous fat. Oh yeah, hello, yes, I'm sharing that. I had to do a translation from a different language just for you, just for this show, to get that information to you, so you're gonna love that. Okay, so here we go. Eating your carbs last. Number 4 on the list is don't eat after 6 p.m. Okay, so you have to stop. You gotta turn off the eating after dark. So this varies different times of the year and where you live. But after dark, you're not meant to be digesting food, okay? So this is really important. You can't secrete and have good fat-burning effects during sleep and helping with your leptin secretion and your insulin and your glucagon and all of these different hormones that are reliant on having an empty stomach, low insulin. Your melatonin is reliant on having low insulin for that good sleep. Okay, so if you're not sleeping, you're not metabolizing your fat either, okay? So that's really important. So stop that food after 6 p.m. And number 5 on the list is block blue light and EMFs. So why is this so important? After dark as well. Whenever you have artificial lights on, you're on your screens, you're checking your social media, you're doing whatever, you're watching my videos. If it is at the wrong time of day, so if it's not noon, when we should have the most blue light in our environment, then that's sending signals to your brain that, hey, it's the middle of the day, it's 12 noon. It causes mixed messages. And when you've got mixed messages happening in your brain, your circadian rhythms, you're out of sync with nature. You're either losing a lot of fat, so for some people who go with hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease, not healthy situation, autoimmunity, or, which happens more times than not, you're gaining more fat because you're out of sync with nature. And this is why it's so important that you're blocking that blue light, wearing those blue light blocking glasses, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, thank you. Yes, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you to everybody who is tuning in today. It's so great to have you here. Thank you for double tapping your screen. I appreciate that. And thank you for all the new people who are sharing here as well. I'm Dr. Janine, great to see you. Okay, now I want to say thank you to all of my super fans. You are so fantastic, and I can't tell you, I mean, all of the love and the donations that come in, whether I'm here live or throughout the week on all of my social media platforms, I thank all of you. You guys are, ladies and gentlemen, everyone alike, thank you so much. You are the absolute best, and I appreciate all of that positivity and the generosity that you share. It helps for me and supports my channel, helps for us to bring the show to you every week. Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome job. Continue to share all that love. Thank you so much to all my super fans. Okay, we're going to the beauty set. I know you've been waiting for this. This is amazing, amazing information. That, of course, because you know that I love to do my research, it's something that I found in the research. Specific essential oils actually help with that subcutaneous fat, so melting away that belly fat. This is also great tips for endometriosis. So earlier, if you're just tuning in, we talked about endometriosis, endometrial pain. Now that castor oil has that ability, plus some of the essential oils that we'll talk about, at blasting away that belly fat. So that subcutaneous fat right and beneath, so when you can pinch an inch or 5, that's the subcutaneous fat that you don't like, and that you may have a little bit of a protrusion of that belly fat. This is going to help with that belly fat specifically. And this was actually based on a Korean study, and I think we have the study really here. And this is just the abstract. I actually went to the actual paper and translated it to find, because I was so curious, okay, what are these specific essential oils that are blasting away belly fat? So I went and found that information. So I'm going to share those essential oils with you. But it says these results suggest that aromatherapy massage could be utilized as an effective intervention to reduce abdominal subcutaneous fat, so belly fat, waist circumference, so smaller, skinnier waist, and to improve body image in postmenopausal women. So postmenopausal women, you may know, struggle a lot with especially belly fat when the hormones have changed. So this is fantastic for everyone. This is not just for ladies, this is for the guys as well, okay? So you're gonna need some castor oil. And you've seen me talk about castor oil packs a lot, and especially for endometriosis, inflammation. Castor oil penetrates. It's one of the oils that penetrates the most deeply into your body. Hello, Lucy. Oh, I'm so rude. I haven't even said hello to Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Meet Lucy. This is Lucy. She helps to demonstrate what's going on, and we're going to be doing the castor oil pack on Lucy. Say hello, hello. And okay, so what we're doing now is we're using specific essential oils. So what are they? One of them is grapefruit essential oil. So here we go. Grapefruit essential oil, fantastic. Ylang ylang. Say that 5 times fast. Another one that helps with that subcutaneous and blast away that belly fat, which is amazing. And a combination of a bit of jojoba oil as well. So here's my recipe. And you're just going to get some castor oil. You're going to use a 1/4 cup. So I'm just going to eyeball it here, a 1/4 cup of that castor oil. You're going to mix this up, preferably into a glass container. And you are now mixing in 10 drops of the grapefruit essential oil. Let's count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sometimes, for good luck. And just 1 drop of the ylang ylang. And it's quite a strong scent, the ylang ylang. There we go, and 1 drop. Okay, so you're going to mix that together, and about a teaspoon of the jojoba oil, which just helps to give it a little bit of a nice glide. And there you go. So mixing that up, and now you're going to apply that to your flannel. So an unbleached cotton piece. This is one of my baby's old baby blankets. And you're just going to apply that. So the smell of this is amazing. Now, grapefruit essential oil, just as an aside, is fantastic for cellulite as well. So any of the citrus essential oils, amazing for cellulite. Helps to get circulation going, and that's exactly what we want, okay? So I would put this and douse this all over my unbleached. Again, you don't want to have a lot of chemicals, detergents, and things in here, so very clean, because remember that castor oil is going to draw into the body. I'm going to soak this with the oil and then place it right where you've got the belly fat. Now, if you've got the endometriosis, this is helpful as well. You may need to go, depending on where your endometrial tissue is sitting. You know, if it's over the ovaries, you may need to go a little bit lower. If it's lower down in the pelvis, you can move it down. And you're applying this ideally for 45 minutes. You can do this 3 times a week. And here you go. Amazing, amazing to melt away that belly fat. Now, another thing that you can do, is to take a little bit of this oil, and before you actually apply your pack, so before you're going to douse your pack, your castor oil pack for that melting away that belly fat, you're going to take a bit of your oil and just do a bit of self-massage, stimulating that circulation. Always go clockwise in that direction, helping to stimulate the bowels as well, but really stimulating that lymphatic system, helping with proper digestion if you've got gut health issues as well. But most importantly, we're talking about blasting away that belly fat today. That's what you're going to do, that combination. There you go. On the abdomen, you're going to love it. And I hope you love that recipe. Please try it. I mean, find those essential oils, and this is something that you're going to love. Okay, we are at quiz question number 3. Wow, today is flying by. Is everybody having fun? Please give me some hearts, some double taps on the screen. Amazing to have you here. Thank you for the buttercup. Nice to have you here. Thank you for the follow. Amazing. Forever Pinky. We do the show every Tuesday. And I'm so happy that there's so many new people here today. So it's so great to see you. I see all those hearts coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Double tap that screen and check out all my content. If you're new to my content, make sure that you're subscribed, you follow. And here we go. We are quiz question number 3 from our great sponsors at VitaTree. This is what you're playing for, the turmeric plus that concentrated curcumin. It's got the quercetin in there as well to help with that absorption. Are we ready? Okay, here we go. I hope everybody was paying attention. Just do your best to put your answer in. Name a common symptom of metabolic syndrome. I showed you the chart. Does anybody remember? A common symptom. You've got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go. Let's get your answers in. If you're just tuning in, we made a delicious cold-busting tea with that turmeric and some lemon. High in vitamin C, amazing if you've got a sore throat, you're dealing with the cold, flu, virus, whatever it is. Amazing, amazing. Okay, I see those answers come in. Good job, everyone. Oh, Sheila. Yes, I like that answer. Good job. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Here we go. Everybody got your answers in? Good job. Jimmy, I see that. Good job, good job. And nice. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about some of the common symptoms. So that high cholesterol, that LDL cholesterol, the belly fat. So remember that belly fat is something that we talked about with my recipe. We can come back to it if you want to, and I'll go through that little recipe again. How to blast away that belly fat with the castor oil. High blood sugar, fatigue, high blood pressure, sugar cravings as well can all be symptoms of that metabolic syndrome. So I hope you've got that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, I know so many of you got the right answer, so that's good. Skin tags, I saw a lot of you put the skin tags in, which is correct. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Hair loss as well, absolutely, with metabolic syndrome. And amazing. Okay, so if you've got questions, now is the time. If you have some questions for me, and if I'm not able, there's so much activity happening today. If I'm not able to answer your question, please put a question into the team at VitaTree, especially if you're asking about some of the things that we showed you today. So put a question in. I don't know if we've got it. hello@vitatree.com. There you go. So you can send an email there if you've got specific questions. And that is awesome, but if you do have questions, I know some questions were coming in through this show and I couldn't address them immediately, and Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Yes, yes, yes. I love the fact that there's so many new people here today, which is so amazing, and so much love. I know so many of you are double tapping your screen. Thank you so much. Jeanette, thank you. Lizzo, thank you. Lori, thank you for being here. So great to have you all here. And Heckbone from Michigan, USA. Nice to see you. Elizabeth, how does castor oil work? Well, it actually penetrates very deeply, and it has an effect on your immune system. And these specific immune cells in the digestive tract and in this area, your big lymph chain and where all your lymph drains to is in your midsection. So this is why it's so great to do that castor oil pack. Plus, if you can get it to actually, so maybe we'll go over here for a second as we talk about the castor oil pack. And I'll show you with Lucy that here we can see that with that castor oil pack, if you can get it over your entire, so here's the liver, if you didn't know, your liver gallbladder function can be optimized as well with the castor oil pack. There we go, that we can definitely have an effect. And then if you've got the endometrial concerns as well, you may need to make your pack a little bit bigger. And I actually like to cover as much of the abdomen as possible. And certainly for the belly fat, you want to cover, I like to cover the liver as well, because liver helps, when you're covering it with the castor oil, helps to stimulate your digestion in the liver as well, which is amazing. So there you go. I hope that answered your question. Castor oil is amazing. It has so many healing benefits. It's very anti-inflammatory as well. That's one of the reasons why it's so great for the endometriosis. It's also great for your skin. We have other remedies for that. Charlene Bennett, you've been using castor oil for your liver for 2 weeks now. Congratulations. I hope you're feeling better. Amazing. I hope. And how is it working for you? Let us know. That's amazing, amazing. And castor oil, yes, getting it from a good company, I prefer in a glass bottle, absolutely, is a better way to go, which is amazing, amazing. And can you buy, I'm not sure I understand that question. Okay, if you take medication with grapefruit contraindications, can you still use the essential oil on the skin? From what I've known in using essential oils, there's no contraindication with using it topically. However, ingesting the grapefruit is, with some liver issues, can be an issue. But always check with your doctor with anything, of course. Of course. Amazing. What is the, okay, you want to know what the oils are for the belly fat. Okay, let's go over here. I knew somebody was going to ask this. And here we go. We're going to post this on the community. So if you're in and you're following me on the different platforms, we're going to post it on the community, and I believe in another still post as well what this recipe is. So we are mixing in a 1/4 cup of our castor oil, and the essential oils that we're using are grapefruit and ylang ylang. Okay, so it's 10 drops of grapefruit, 1 drop of ylang ylang into your castor oil, and just a teaspoon of that jojoba oil, okay? And that is in just 6 weeks. So in the study, which maybe we can pull it up really quickly, the study that we talked about, in just 6 weeks, and this was done in Korea. So yes, I did translation for you, not myself, but I used, a tool to translate for you. But in just 6 weeks, there was a significant reduction in subcutaneous belly fat. So that fat just beneath the skin surface, with doing these essential oils and the castor oil, and self-massage. So doing self-massage, very important, as well as part of what was shared in this study, which was amazing. After just 6 weeks, I mean, that's pretty easy to do. I think most of us could get into the fact of doing a bit of, self-abdominal massage. Great. Now, the other thing that you can do, if you want to venture into doing this overnight for blasting away that belly fat, is to actually use this on your abdomen at nighttime and sleep with it. So you're going to, of course, put those essential oils, your castor oil, on your belly, and then what you're doing now is you are attaching it with a waist trainer, or whatever somebody suggested, a tensor bandage as well, which would be a simple way to keep this attached all night, keeping that heat in, and the heat will help to activate that castor oil to melt away that belly fat. Amazing, amazing. So I hope that you try this out. Okay, so thank you so much. And I know there were so many questions that I couldn't get to, so please make sure that you're sending an email to hello@vitatree.com if you had any types of questions that I wasn't able to address today. Now, we will be back in a couple of weeks. So in a couple of weeks, we will be back next week, where a lot of us have holiday season. And okay, jojoba, yes, thank you, Julia. Thank you for helping to, not hobo oil, jojoba oil. Yes, that's what we talked about. And so we will be talking, it's going to be after the holiday season. When we're back in a couple of weeks, we'll be talking weight loss. Yeah, going to come back to that. Maybe we'll come back to our recipe with the fat blasting and how to blast away that belly fat, as well as detox and holiday detox. So post-holiday detox, full body detox, how do we do that? So important that we are all getting those toxins out. I want everybody to enjoy the holiday season. Please continue to watch so every day we're still posting, even over the holidays. So maybe you'll have a little bit of extra time to check out my content. Make sure that you're commenting, that you're subscribed, you're sharing, you're liking, and just share the love and share your good news with us here at the Dr. Janine Show. I'm so privileged to be able to speak to you every week, and I love you all. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in a bit. See you then.